inside.
It's the fastest jet.
Okay, mate.
In this video, we look at the Yak fighter props from 2.3 to 5.7. Before we start, you need to know the ABC of the Yaks. There are the letters B, T, K, U, and P behind the Yak marking the variant. B stands for bomb, means there is an integrated bomb bay in the plane. T stands for tank killer. That's because it has a 37mm in the nose that you can use successfully against planes as well, unlike its American counterpart. K stands for crap because now you have a 45mm instead of the 37mm. The gun loses on accuracy, ballistics, and is slower. It also has the same pen, but more explosive filler. The U stands for ultra performance, and that's what you want to use mainly. It has WEP and best possible performance for its role as fighter. The P stands for more pang and means you have more cannons. There are more letters like D, M, V and R, but that are versions we will never see in-game, besides the premium Yak 9M that has no changes in gameplay from the normal Yak 9. The strength of all Yaks are great top speed, great turn rate, great climb rate, great energy retention, excellent acceleration and reliable guns. If you know the props in this game, you know that sounds pretty much like a BF-109, and that's absolutely right. The Yaks were made in cooperation with German Aviation 1939. That's why BF-109 and Yak behave similar, however an old Soviet-thinking Yaks has some unique weaknesses. They have like no armor at all. Later models don't even have armored glass in the front of the cockpit. It has fuel tanks in its wings, but they are self-sealing, so surviving a fire is doable depending on how much fuel you still have. It also has a very low wing rip speed at 690 km/h. Not to forget the very low amount of ammo, and combined with its high fire rate, you just have a few seconds of bursting. Starting with the Yak 1, you get the most capable fighter for its BR. You outturn / outspeed everything that isn't a Spitfire or in Japanese UFO. Those two factions will be your worst enemy because you can't simply outturn them but need to out-energy them. Besides that, you already have a 2-stage supercharger that gives you the advantage at mid to high ult. The Yak 7B changes the 2x7mm into 2x12.7mm, but suffers from the added weight. It's not recommended to use the plane, unless you want to use its rockets in ground RB. The Yak 9 has a worse turn rate than the Yak 1, because your plane isn't wood anymore and loses its WEP, what makes it worse at high ult. But you still are very competitive with the 1x 12.7mm and 1x 20mm in the nose. Also a real danger in ground RB. The Yak 9B, K, and T have the same performance, but just different weapon systems. The only real purpose for them are ground RB and interceptor missions. In the start of the match you choose between tracer and universal belts for the 12.7mm and tracers for the 20mm. Now the Yak 3 is a different kind of beast. It combines the strengths of the Yak 9 previous variants and the role as air superiority fighter. You get an even better turn rate, a better climb rate and better top speed. You still suffer from the same weaknesses, but outperform pretty much everything under 4,000 meters. Just make sure you work your way down with the enemies, so you don't get swarmed. Its P version is the same plane but with 3 by 20 mm instead of the 2 by 12.7 mm, making it a great interceptor that can also dogfight every other plane with no problems. Like said earlier, the only threats are Japanese and Spitfires, who can outturn you. Getting rid of those needs to have priority. Germans and Americans are as fast as you, but can't turn with you, or have the energy retention to keep up with you. The Yak 9U is the original Yak 9 but with an extra 400 horse Klimov M107A engine, which gives it an all-around performance boost, making it just as good as the late war super props. In contrast to the Yak 3, you have better energy characteristics, like top speed, acceleration and energy retention. You can even perform well against a BF-109K4. The Yak 9P version suffers from the added weight of the guns and turn rate, but since a silent buff you can change one of the 3 by 20 mm to the 37 mm or the 23 mm for extra ground RB action. But with the worst turn rate, I recommend you to skip this plane and use the Yak 3P instead. You can find the last 3 Yaks all at 5.7 and that are the real super props. The Yak 9UT is the Yak 9U, but with the option to put a 23 mm, 37 mm or 45 mm in your engine without giving it negative effects, and lets it perform just like the Yak 9U. The premium Yak 3 VK107 is the Yak 3 with the engine of the Yak 9U. You get the best of both. In reality, only 49 to 100 planes were built cause of overheating problems, but this plane is a must-have for everyone who enjoys Yaks, but be aware of the overheating. Manual engine controls are needed. Min fuel is advised cause of better survivability in case of a fire and better performance. You want to climb at 15 to 20 degrees depending on the version you use. From there you should be the highest fighter and can start boom and zooming your enemies. Just remember that your ammo count is limited. The Yak 3U is a prototype and again a mix of two successful planes, the Yak 3 and the La 7. Both together make the best low-alt prop fighter in this game. The only thing you have to watch out is the gameplay, cause now you have an Lavochkin engine and not a Yak one. This makes it really different to fly from the previous Yaks, but it's almost unfair in the right hands. As last, the Yaks are a powerhouse in the air and ground, and if you played the BF-109 you will see that the Yaks are pretty much the same, but more effective in their role as multipurpose and air superiority fighter. I recommend them to anyone who has trigger discipline and know how to not getting hit, cause you will die really fast when doing mistakes. I hope the guide helped you and you will start with bringing communism to the capitalist's doorstep. And if you liked the video and want more of this kind, don't forget to leave a like and comment. This video really took some time to make.